Describe a time you were lost.
Now, let me share a personal experience that fits this topic. This happened a few years ago when I traveled to Istanbul, Turkey for the very first time. It was my dream destination, and I was really excited to explore the city. I had just arrived and decided to visit the famous Grand Bazaar, one of the biggest and oldest covered markets in the world. At first, everything was going smoothly. I was walking around, enjoying the colorful shops, the smell of spices, the handmade carpets, and the friendly shopkeepers calling out to tourists. But after about an hour, I realized something strange. I couldn't find the exit. I had been walking in circles, and every shop looked similar. That's when I realized I was completely lost. I didn't speak Turkish, and my mobile data wasn't working properly. I started to feel a bit nervous because no matter which direction I walked in, I ended up in the same place again. I tried asking for help, but most of the people around me spoke very little English, and I wasn't confident enough to communicate clearly. To make things worse, it was getting late in the evening. The bazaar was still full of people, but I started to feel very alone. I remember standing near a small jewelry shop and taking a deep breath, telling myself to stay calm. I thought, okay, let's try to remember where you entered from. That's when I noticed a small sign written in English that said main gate. I decided to follow that direction, hoping it would lead me somewhere familiar. Luckily, after about 15 minutes of walking, I found the exit. I was so relieved when I saw the same cafe where I had bought a cup of Turkish tea earlier. I sat down, smiled to myself, and promised to never enter a maze like market without a proper map again. Looking back, even though I was scared at the time, it was actually a valuable experience. I learned how important it is to stay calm in unfamiliar situations and to be prepared, especially when traveling abroad. And more importantly, I realized how communication can be a challenge when you don't know the local language. That's why improving your English or any language is such a powerful skill. Now, if you get a cue card in your IELTS test like this, describe a time you were lost, try to follow a simple structure. Start with where and when it happened. Explain how you got lost. Talk about what you did to find your way. And finally, share how you felt during and after the experience. Use natural expressions like, I was completely confused, I panicked a little, or I felt a huge sense of relief. These phrases show your fluency and your emotional connection to the story, both of which the examiner is looking for. Remember, the IELTS speaking test isn't about perfection, it's about communication. The examiner wants to know if you can express your ideas clearly, tell a story, and keep the conversation going. So don't worry if you make a few small mistakes. What matters more is confidence, fluency, and vocabulary. I hope this example helped you understand how to describe a real life situation using natural English. If you found this video useful, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Ali Trainings Official. Your support helps us create more videos to help you reach your goals. And here's a little message before we go. Getting lost is a part of life, not just on the streets, but also in learning. But every time you find your way back, you become stronger, wiser, and more confident. So keep learning, keep exploring, and never give up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and happy learning.